It's your boy Anon, and I'm back. And this time, we're talking about Young Sinatra 4 by Logic, or by Young Sinatra. Okay. Now, before we get into this, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Check out my online store where I'm selling different items from shirts, shoes, watches, necklaces, headphones, headsets, all that. You know what I'm saying? The link will be down below. Also, the links to or the usernames to all my social media will be down below as well. Also, disclaimer: these are my opinions. Do not take what I'm saying and try and get offended by it or feel or use that to persuade in any way how you approach this album. This is just my opinion based off my brain for Young Sinatra 4. So let's get into it. So, Logic, Young Sinatra 4. Let me just explain how I went in this album with my brain, of course. Now, I would say I'm not a fan of Logic. I like Logic's music, okay? I wouldn't say I am a fan, but I wouldn't say I'm not a fan. I like Logic's music. I know about Bobby Tarantino as the more I don't know what the word, mainstream sounding version of Logic, more hype, trappy, heavy type beats. Bobby Tarantino, if I said that. Me listening to Bobby Tarantino earlier this year, I felt that was what Logic was going for. More trap heavy, not as lyric based, but more braggadocious, trap Logic, okay? Regular Logic, as far as what I know, because I don't really listen to Logic's albums that ain't under pressure. Regular Logic is more, I want to inspire you, I want to inspire the world, I want to motivate, I want to, peace, love, positivity, all that. That's what I get from Regular Logic. Now, from Young Sinatra was on the Bobby Tarantino 2 soundtrack. And from what I heard from Young Sinatra, which was a song that I loved, he is the more bar, battle rap type rapper. Like, he coming at you, just spitting straight bars, trying to slaughter everything. And he kind of does it to, boom bap beats. That's what I got. Maybe I'm wrong. But everywhere I go, that's what people tell me Young Sinatra is. So I was like, okay, I can get that. People told me, Young Sinatra is the more rap heavy, bar heavy, lyrical Logic, who, he just spitting straight bars over old school rap. You know what I'm saying? So me going into this album, I expected every song to be bar heavy, lyric heavy, Logic spitting over, I wouldn't say 90 rap, but modern sounding boom bap beats. That's just what I expected. Just straight rapping, straight bars all over the project. That's what I expected. Now, maybe I'm an idiot, and me being not knowing, maybe I was confusing that with Young Sinatra with somebody else. I don't know. But going into it, that's what I expected. So listening to this entire album and just sitting back and thinking about it and just going through the album, there's a lot of non-Young Sinatra songs on here. Not saying they're bad, but there's a lot of songs that I didn't think would be on Young Sinatra. You know what I'm saying? Like One Day, which I think was a single for something. I think it was a single for Young Sinatra. Well, of course it's on Young Sinatra. But One Day, that sounds like a song that could be on everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let me think of the songs that... Okay, Thank You was just a thank you letter to his fan. Like, Logic spit a couple bars and then start singing, like I said. And then there's like 5 minutes of people calling Logic, telling some how weird he is. Which is a weird way to start it, but I kind of could get it. But that seemed like that could have been at the end. But the end was weird too, because it was just Logic rapping. Again, he like spit a 16, then he'll just start going on a long rant about stuff. Then he'll start rapping again, then going a longer rant about stuff, and then it's not a rant, he's telling a story, but of course, it's just weird how he starts the album with him rapping very little and people talking, and then he ends the album with him rapping very little and people talking, mostly him. One Day, of course. Let me see. Ordinary, I believe. Yeah, Ordinary. Let's see. There's another song that I can't remember. Even like Last Call, the intro. He's is more a lot of more singing and not really as much bar heavy content, I would say, on this album. Not saying that there is zero bar heavy content, but the songs aren't what I expected. You know what I'm saying? Which isn't an issue. Maybe, like I said, maybe I have my expectations on who Young Sinatra was kind of mixed up. But like even the Glorious Five, which is a nice story, just him just talking about how watching his dad in his environment makes him want to do better for his children when he gets older, which is similar to Legacy, but Legacy goes kind of more deeper in detail. But like a song like Glorious Five seems like something like it sounds like a rehash of that song, of not that song, but that little small little quadrant or whatever from 44 More, where he was talking about I'm not about spending all this money or whatever because I'm trying to save for my kids to go to college, stuff like that. Like Legacy and Glorious Five were pretty much extensions of that little small couple bars that he put on 44 More. But once again, the subject matter just seems like stuff that would be on everybody or on a different album, talking about what Logic wants to be and who Logic is, and not on the album where he's supposed to be spitting bars, just going at the competition and stuff, which is pretty much my train of thought just going through it. Of course, Wu-Tang Forever. Oh my goodness, that song. When I heard the sword switches, I was like, I got chills. I'm like, oh. Ghostface came in, Raekwon came in, RZA came in, just like he was just going 8 minutes of just straight bars. Everybody was going in the beat. In my opinion, I guess because I love Wu-Tang. Ghostface is in my top 10. Raekwon is somewhere in my top 15, top 20. But I feel that personally was the best song on there. Not saying that was the only perfect song or the only 5 out of 5 song that I put on the album, but that really pushed this album up in ratings, because if that song was not on there, I'm pretty sure this would have been below 3 stars. But Wu-Tang chalked it up. Wale chalked it up with 100 Miles and Running. Even Iconic chalked it up, because I love the Icon beat, and it was kind of remixed to that, and I want to jump on the Icon beat and just slaughter it, but I need a studio. That chalked it up. But besides those songs, everything was either 2 stars or 3.5 stars, between 2 and 3.5 stars for me. I think I put this on Twitter, but as far as Lil Wayne's album is concerned, he had more great songs on his album than Logic did. I get Wayne's album was longer, but Logic had he could have weeded, like I said in the last review, he could have picked the ones that were kind of going to stick. But of course, these are my opinions, so he probably thought some of the songs were going to stick for his audience and not specifically for me. But I feel like those songs really hiked up the rating because Wu-Tang, man. Wu-Tang, that's all I gotta say. As far as lyrics, lyrics aren't bad. Like 100 Miles and Running. The flows on there. Wale slaughtered it. Logic slaughtered it. Logic, he actually did, what's the name of that song? Tongue Twister. I think it's called Tongue Twister by Twista. And it came out like a million years ago when Twista was super, super young. And like, he was just, that Logic did that on 100 Miles and Running. It was incredible. Like, he was like talking about something, nah, I ain't gonna edit it, nah, this ain't fake, this is me, I'm about to go in and raw, pause, I'm about to get it. here we go. I'm like, whoa. But that song was nice. Iconic, I love the Icon beat. Logic ripped it. I want to get on there because I want to kill it forever and finish it. But that was a great song. But the issue with Logic, okay, this is an issue that a lot of people have with Logic. And it's an issue that I've noticed on Bobby Tarantino. I didn't listen to everybody, but it's just something I noticed on Bobby Tarantino compared to albums like Under Pressure. You can tell Logic had less to say than he is letting on. That's my issue. That was kind of my issue with Bobby Tarantino. I liked Bobby Tarantino because I got what it was supposed to be. But when some of the imperfections of Bobby Tarantino kind of fall into Young Sinatra, where you're supposed to be more bar heavy, it becomes an issue. Now, I'm pretty sure I heard the same issue with everybody. I didn't listen to everybody, but I'm pretty sure I heard other people say Logic just, for some reason, likes to repeat lines over and over again as if you didn't hear it. Like, sometimes he'll repeat it twice, but sometimes he'll say it like 4 times, and it's just like, okay, move on to the next one. And it's not like it's a setup for something. That's like the whole rhyme scheme. Like, Logic will say one phrase and say it 4 times and then go to another rhyme scheme instead of trying to rhyme that phrase with anything else. And that's kind of what kind of gets me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like he does it cleverly. Like, on Lil Wayne's album, he did like a long scheme of using mime and line in different ways to where it sounded like he was saying the same word, but he was saying different things with the word. Of course, I think he stretched that out a little too long. But it's not like Logic does that with homonyms and homophones. He just literally says the same thing over and over again. Flow wise, I would never say Logic always has top tier flows on everything. His voice is always good. It's just his lyrics, like what he is saying sometimes is repetitive, of course, but sometimes doesn't feel like it has any true meaning behind it. Like when he tries to motivate you or tries to tell you something, like specifically to you, he says it in the most base level, non-descriptive way possible. Like, I don't like to keep comparing this to Carter 5, but Wayne pretty much made a song, I think it's Open Letter, technically entering his brain, and he's just dropping a lot of gems and saying, you don't know that you're dead inside until you're dead, or something like that. Like, he's dropping knowledge, he's saying things in some subjects and some feelings that he feels. He goes into detail about how he truly feels and what he sees and stuff on Carter 5. Logic pretty much just blurts something out and moves on. Like, he doesn't really get too descriptive. And you can kind of say the same thing. I don't like keep comparing Logic to people, but you can kind of say the same thing about J. Cole. J. Cole isn't as repetitive, but sometimes J. Cole will have an entire song where he just says very general statements that most people can agree with, and he just moves on. He doesn't go into detail about how he truly feels and you know, how he sees things. He doesn't truly do that sometimes. And that's kind of issue with Logic on this album. When he does go into certain subject matter, like, I do like to say, I can't think of the name of the song, it might have been Legacy. It was, oh, I'm about to see. Street Dreams, he kind of goes in detail. It's pretty much a story, but he goes into detail about, you know, that story. Young Sinatra 5, at the end, he goes on like a little story just talking about some kids getting killed over money or something like that. And that's kind of what I'm talking about as far as going into detail about your subject matter. Same with J. Cole, I think on Brackets, he did a similar thing where he kind of told you how money circulates, you know what I'm saying, and how taxes work. There's not enough of that. Like, besides that and a couple of other songs, Logic will just say something and just move on instead of kind of explaining it. Or when he's trying to motivate you, he'll say, the haters gonna hate. Then he moves on. Or he'll just tell you, don't listen to anybody when they tell you you can't achieve your dreams. And then he moves on. You know what I'm saying? these are things that everybody has said. Like any rapper that has made it and feels and is in their I want to motivate y'all mood has all said, don't let anybody tell you you can't achieve your dreams because I fought for mine and I achieved mine. Nothing Logic says is really new. You know what I'm saying? He says a lot of cliches and moves on. He doesn't really. It kind of takes away from the genuinity. I don't know the word. Takes away from it sounding genuine when you're just saying what other people have already said as far as motivating you. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I'm going kind of long with this, but it's not a bad album. I think it has some nice beats. Wu-Tang Forever killed it. Wale came on there and killed it. Jaden Smith didn't really rap. I think he just produced the song Iconic because he's counted as a feature, but I don't think I heard him rap. I heard him talk. I heard him say a couple words. Something about his chain wrapped around his neck or something, but he didn't rap. He just said words. Jaden Smith is weird, and he needs to give me that icon beat. Like the beats are nice. He hits a certain subject matters. He tells some nice stories. He as far as flowing, his flows is nice. He has some nice bars on there. Just repetition and just some of the songs feeling like they should not be there and be taken out and put on another album. And it's weird because it doesn't suffer from being too long, but it suffers from being too long. This is the perfect length for an album for me. But when you give this perception of what this album is, and a lot of the songs are against what you said it is, that's what kind of is like, okay, you could have took these songs out and made it shorter. You know what I'm saying? But that's it for me. I'm out. Overall, I will give Young Sinatra 3 out of 5. Or it will translate to like a 7 out of 10. It has its issues, but it's not that bad. Like I said, certain songs got rated so high that it bumped them up. Like if the Wu-Tang song wasn't on here, if the Wale song wasn't on here, and if the Icon song wasn't on here, and I think another song that I like. I think those 3 songs, if they were gone, this album would probably be. Hold up, what song this is? Everybody Dies. I think Young Sinatra 4 was good too. Yeah, but it wasn't. Okay. If the Wu-Tang song, the Wale song, Everybody Dies, the Iconic song, if those were taken off of this album, this would have probably been terrible. I wouldn't say terrible, but the rating probably would have been a 2 out of 5. It probably would have been lower than the Carter 5. But the great songs were really great, and since the album was short, those songs hyped up the rating a lot. If Logic added like 4 more songs, it probably wouldn't have fared as well. If this album had as many songs as Carter 5, Carter 5 might have had a higher rating if these songs were gone and they had other songs on there. But I don't know. But this is 3.5 out of 5 for me. Go ahead and listen to Young Sinatra 5. Tell me what you think about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I feel like I said this earlier, but that's it for me. I'm out. Too sweet. Deuces.